finding out who their true essence is. So with people like us, people like you, and there are many others, who are spreading the message to help those who seek information regarding spiritual awakening. So they will be ready for whatever is coming. And I believe this year there will be many changes, many types of events which will happen to allow humanity to project ourselves as a collective into the higher levels.
Yeah. I couldn't say it better myself, my friend. That's exactly what I've been feeling as well. So we must be resonating at the same frequency. I love it.
Yeah. I think in order for people to like interact, also, I think the level of vibration has to be at least similar or in the same range, because it's not possible for two people with a different vibration to like interact, because I have never seen that happen. And when I started my spiritual awakening, because my I was doing meditation, I was doing channeling, my vibration somehow changed. And then my old friends, they just magically disappeared, as if they were no longer a vibrational match. So yeah, that's what happens. And I think this is an example of a vibration mismatch happening. When you raise your consciousness higher, you'll find new friends, just like just like other light workers who are at the same frequency, and old vibration has to go, right? So yeah, that's what happens. I have seen that myself, and I think this is a great example.
That's very well said as well. And it's interesting that you mentioned vibrational match. I think that as people who are raising their frequency and are vibrating at the same level of vibrational frequency, I think those people are going to be in a sense disappearing from those that are not matching the new frequencies, the new vibrational energies that are coming in. And would you agree that there will be some sort of timeline split between the old world and the new world based on this shift in vibrational frequencies, Sam?
Yeah, brother. As far as I have been channeling, I've been doing it for like almost it's been over 2 years. And like you said, many people, they have been talking about this timeline split. So basically, I think many a times they have mentioned that it is already underway, but because it is happening at such a core level that we don't really recognize it. Okay, like this vibration concept, it requires a lot of in-depth knowledge to truly understand. Because if you go to the basic level of atomic level, there are electrons, there are protons and stuff like that. And in that level also there is this thing about vibration, wherein like objects, they tend to stick together, such as fluids. Which have similar type of structures, they find themselves together. So I think it is already happening, and for us it may take some time, because we are living in this dense kind of reality. So it takes some time to actually come out. In the same way, I feel that many people when they try to change their life, when they try to manifest something, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a rare occasion, where it happens overnight. It may take some time, like 6 months to a year, because our body changes to that new vibration. Our body adapts to the new vibration, and then when you become solidified in that vibration, then you will see the changes. That's what I recognize. And many people, they make the mistake of just staying in the new vibration just for a short period of time, and they go back to the old self. So what happens is that nothing changes, right? So that's the mistake I have seen. And like you said, the split is happening. Every day, we are changing our vibration. We are either going towards the new earth, or we are either going towards the old earth, or staying in the old earth. Yeah. So if you look at like the kind of examples of vibration that we have seen, there may be many people who have studied the art of like measuring vibration. Some people, they may know, what is fear, what is anger, or they may also know, other types of higher vibration things like peace, silence of mind, joy, happiness. And I think you can even decide from these basic parameters, where you are heading towards. So every moment, just be conscious of what you're choosing. And if the viewers, they are conscious of what they're choosing, like, for example, every moment, are they choosing, happiness? Are they choosing to be in joy? Are they choosing to be in peace or silence of mind? If they are choosing the other one, like fear, anxiety, jealousy, pride, and all of the stuff, unfortunately, they are going towards the old way, right? So yeah, this happens on a moment to moment basis. And one thing I noticed that I think you may have also noticed that from my channeling, I noticed that the what they call this right now, right? The now is the most important thing,
The
wherein
presence.
we can make the changes. Yeah, the
Mhm.
presence. Yeah, some people call it the presence. This is the most important thing, wherein we can make the choice to either go this way or that way. And every moment you become self-aware, you can choose where you want to go towards.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel about that, Taylor?
Yeah, you and I have talked about this in the Starseed class, and just outside of that too, that just like happiness it's almost an equation of making those right choices continually, choosing to not succumb to fear, to anxiety, to depression, and instead to see opportunity, to see growth, to see expansion. You know, looking at life through the lens of there's no winning and losing. There's only, if you want to keep winning because it's positive, there's only winning and lessons. You know what I mean? So you kind of restructure the mind in this kind of neuro-linguistic programming way to just see everything as either reward or opportunity versus reward or failure, success or failure. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There is no such thing as failure. There's
Yeah.
only, experience. That's what basically it all boils down to. But, Sam and yourself, it's you guys are absolutely correct. Our emotional state of being is a choice. And every second of the day, we could either choose to, be happy, have inner peace, be in that state of mind where we're in gratitude, because we know that when we choose those feelings, we're gravitating towards the new earth, right? As opposed to, feeling low, feeling depressed, feeling, anxiety, feeling stress. All that stuff is part of the old earth. And so one of the things that I want to clear out is that a lot of people ask me, like, well, Ishmael, when the shift takes place, when this great event they call the solar flash takes place, they always ask me, is the earth literally going to split, or are we going to be beamed up to a different planet? And the answer to that is no. It's not that the physical earth is going to split into two different, like a single cell dividing into two. It's going to be a vibrational shift, because the new earth is already here. It's all around us. It's just in a different dimension. So what's going to be happening is that when enough people already reach that fifth dimensional vibrational rate of reality, due to the fact that we're all connected via this planetary mind hive, it's going to automatically shift that for the rest of humanity. Where, in a split second, humanity, those that do make the shift, are going to be going into this new earth that has already existed. It's already here. It's just a vibrational frequency away. And I would say, would you agree with that, Sam? That it's a vibration?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, brother. That's what even I have received during channeling, and many people they get confused because of the images that we find when we search the new earth. They show us visual representation of like the earth like splitting up, but I believe that's what is causing the confusion. But the thing is, like you said, it's actually a vibrational thing, and like the collective. In my channeling, what they say is the collective is like the social memory complex. So each of our consciousness, it becomes one, right? So even right now, we are actually one. We are in this body. Now, our body may be considered as like a vehicle, like they say it's a physical vehicle. Just like, you buy a new vehicle, you may get any kind of vehicle. And then, once you enter into that, sometimes you forget that you are the vehicle, but you're actually not the vehicle, but the person, the presence inside it, right? So I feel like, all of us, we forget that we are the vehicle. We become attached to our body so much. And later on, we realize when we become old, we are about to die, or when we get awakening, like you and I have the spiritual awakening, we recognize that we are not the body. We're just here in this body for a short time, but we are eternal beings. And that, we are vibrational. Like you said, we are a vibration. So whatever vibration we choose, like you said, every moment, it's like making the choice. And if you are choosing the other vibration, just become conscious of it and make a different decision. Because as soon as you make that new choice, over and over again, if you repeat that, if you try, at least, you have to try. Okay, if you try it, and then, one day will come, it will become natural. You'll become this new vibration completely. And that is the moment, you will find yourself shifting into the new earth timeline. wherein everything that they have said in many people have said will happen. So the new Earth, yes, it is happening right now. There are two types of Earth at this moment. There is the new Earth vibration and the old Earth. Now it's up to every individual to choose which one they want to be in.
And right now they're coexisting. Would you agree? They're coexisting. But the time is coming very, very soon where they're going to split, and they're going to be two separate realities based on this event, right, that everyone's expecting.
Yeah, brother. That's pretty much the same thing, which I have also understood. Is that right now, both the worlds, the old and the new, they're existing much like in a household. There may be people who are awakened, or there may be people who are not awakened. Now it is their choice. In the same household, there may be people who don't believe they are spiritual beings. They believe something else. Now it's up to them. But they coexist together right now, right? So right now, it is possible. But I believe, like you said, they have given us a timeline. I think around 2030, wherein there is this grand solar flash event, probably, which it will happen in this timeline. So that I believe, will bring forth the separation of this fourth density new Earth planet, or the fifth dimension, 5D, many people call it. And I believe, that's one of the points wherein this kind of complete shift of vibration will happen. So I have to actually witness it to tell you how it is, because words and language cannot actually describe an event, right? Cannot describe an experience. It's like saying that saying the word orange instead of tasting the orange, right? So it's very different, right? So yeah, I believe in our language, there may be some kind of misunderstanding, because words cannot give you that real experience. That's what I understand.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Sam, I hear you have a pretty interesting background that got you into this path of channeling. As most people do, tell us a little bit about your background.
I for the past 10 years, I was studying magic. I used to do street magic, sleight of hand magic. And I used to practice that.
That's
and
very
one
cool,
day,
by the way. I just want to let you know that's pretty cool that you were a street magician. I mean, what a cool way, what a cool path into spirituality, into galactic channeling, than doing street magic. So I just want to put that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I really loved performing magic, and then I discovered something known as hypnosis. So I started to go into it. I started to get some courses. I started to get some training, like many people do. And one day, it was around 1 year of trying street hypnosis. I was going out there. I still have old videos where I hypnotize people. They forget their name, they forget the number, they forget many things. I was able to make them do stuff like that through the power of the mind, the subconscious mind. And I then discovered that this is some real stuff, right? So I started to go in even deep, and I started
one question about the hypnosis. How quickly were you able to get people into that trance state?
Yeah, hypnosis. As far as I learned, there are two types of trances. There is an instant induction. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Wherein people could go in instantly. So they taught me something known as the handshake induction. If I was shaking the hand, I used to interrupt the pattern. So when you interrupt the pattern, people, they just go blank, right? They don't know what to do, and many times they fall into the prey of the suggestion. So you can say a suggestion with do this, and it's more likely they'll do that, because they're conscious that thinking mind is just switch off. So just imagine you're shaking a hand, and you would presume that you would shake a hand, right? But instead the person takes a hand and does this, then you'd be like, what is going on, right? You would not understand. So there are many methods they have taught me, and one of the ones which I was focusing on at the time was known as power of conversational hypnosis, which was just by using normal conversation, how can we hypnotize people? So I was studying that, and then there was this self-hypnosis practice wherein I had to listen to a tape. So I was lying down in my bed and listening to this tape. One day I did not realize that I had fallen into a trance, and somehow this connection happened. In the beginning, I was taken to the hospital by my mother, because she thought that maybe I was suffering from some mental disease or something, because I was making weird voices, weird sounds were coming out. But then later on, I discovered that I had somehow connected with these beings who had this message to deliver to humanity. And then I immediately, realized what was going on. And then I started to share the message out there. That's how it started.
Wow.
And it's amazing how you're able to, shift your voice when your body goes into that altered state of mind. As you mentioned, it's where you're almost in sleep mode, but it's really the state of in between sleep and wake, right? Right. Okay. So when you go into
exactly, yeah.
It's amazing how, because I've been listening to some of your stuff in the last few months. There's a lot of people that follow me, that follow you, and they send me your videos and they want me to check it out, and they always want to get my feedback. So I just wanted to say, brother, that I am impressed at your technique. The fact that you're able to, your voice literally changes. It's more stronger, more deeper, and I know that you don't do that intentionally. So that's how I know you're really channeling, because it's like a different entity just comes through you. And I also notice the difference in terminologies that you use when you're channeling. It seems like you used a wide variety of terminologies, as opposed to when you're just talking like this, as yourself. So that's how I know that you are a true vessel of this channeling technique. And it's fascinating information. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that I am impressed at your work. And by the way, thank you for channeling some of my past lives the other day. And you really fascinated me, because you were able to trace one of my lifetimes as a mineral. No, not as a mineral, as an element, as a fire element. Wow. You even knew my name, Pirate. And to me, that was just amazing. 226 billion years ago, I was a fire element. That's just fascinating. I never know it was possible to go as far as 226 billion years ago to see what we were back then. So to me, that was impressive, brother. I just wanted to give you props for that. You did pretty good, and you nailed it pretty well, because I've always felt I was Lyran. I've always felt I resonated with the cat, with the feline race. And I felt that a lot of my incarnations had a lot to do with the feline race. And that was fascinating. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, brother, I was also shocked, because when I'm channeling, I don't know what comes through. Okay, because the information, I don't know, I have to listen to it again. So when I sent it to you, right, and you said, wow, it matches, you felt like, it was true. I was like, wow, blown away, because, I don't know, how it happens many times, when I do past life for people, sometimes, they may, give information, I am blown away by that, they even send me emails, how is this possible, right? So I don't know, something happens, like you said, when I'm channeling, I don't know what is coming through. Sometimes, I have to listen to it over and over again to understand what they're saying, because the language is also not like a normal person. And like you said, the voice, it actually, I think, just listening to it, hurts my throat, because if I try to do this right now, I cannot maintain it, you know what I mean? It will blow my throat. But yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's related with that state of consciousness, maybe that's how it is happening.
Would you say that's the delta state of consciousness, or the gamma?
I think, I have to measure it, but I believe, it's like it here on the earth. So sometimes, when you have a dream, for sure that you're not here, but up in the air, it feels just like that.
Right.
So where I'm not here, I think it may be delta or somewhere around gamma.
I would say delta. Yeah, delta is probably, because that's also directly related to our sleep state. I believe that when we are in that REM state of dreaming, we are in delta brainwave. That makes perfect sense.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Hey, Taylor, have you ever been hypnotized?
No. Both my mom is a certified hypnotherapist, and so is my sister. And they have tried, but what it really is, and this is no fault of their own, but I think it's just the bias of my mom and my sister trying to do it. I'm pretty sure that, Sam, if you tried to do it, I would respond differently. You know how it is. It's like when your sister's like, I'm going to hypnotize you. Like, no, you're not. You know what I mean? But I would love to do that. And I'm very fascinated by your channeling for Ishmael coming out as being an element from something like 246 billion years ago, because I mean, that says so much about where we come from in relation to the cosmos and in relation to the elements themselves, which is what we base all of our spirituality on at the mystic arts, from starseed cosmology to Kabbalistic tarot and astrology. It's all elemental, and it's all rooted in time that is immeasurable by the standards we have now. So I would love to do a session with you at some point, Sam.
Yeah, brother. I can definitely help you out. Yeah, that's what fascinating about knowing your past life. You when you know that, I've also done my own past life. It's available on my YouTube. You feel like you're here just to learn certain lessons. Maybe to help someone. You're in this body, and you could change the body. So when you hear people talking about I am better, my body, or my color is better, or whatever, it seems very funny because in the next life, or maybe in the previous life, they were that type of person, right? So yeah, it's kind of it opens your eyes in a way.
Well, I've always heard, and this is also something that I've kind of intuited, that the only two choices we make before we incarnate is who our parents are going to be and what our one major theme or major lesson is going to be for this experience in this lifetime. And then everything else outside of that is essentially free will. But we come into this life, we incarnate with one major lesson, and we do predetermine who our parents are going to be before our incarnate form. What do you guys think about that? Have you heard that? Do you believe that?
Yeah. Taylor, from my experience, I have definitely noticed, like you said, there are certain themes in each person's life, and sometimes you choose what you are here to learn, and many times there is also free will. But I also have noticed that there is I don't know, I have noticed this in my own life, that the concept of karma, right? Like if you do good to others, it will come back. I've noticed that many times in my life, and one of the things that I really found to really work in this field of maybe receiving a favorable event, or maybe receiving whatever you want based on your free will, is actually helping others through the practice of charity. So I have seen even 2 years before this happened, I was actually practicing charity, giving donations to people. I used to give 10 to 15% of my income back in the day to help others. And then somehow this thing happened to me, and then somehow my YouTube channel started to blow up. So I believe
You believe it's connected?
there's this thing. Yeah, there's this thing about karma. Yeah, I believe that it has happened with me. So something is going on here, which I need to understand truly.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, I agree. And then going back to your question, Taylor, I strongly believe that not only do we choose our parents, and of course, our primary life challenge, but I do also believe that we choose our circumstances, that our spirit sets everything, ahead of us before we incarnate, because our spirit knows where we need to be in our growth. So it sets all the circumstances for us based on where we need to grow. And I've always been a firm believer in that. I've always believed that we not only do we choose our parents, but we also choose the circumstances that we are born in, and for the most part what happens. But yeah, I also believe that it is a combination of both determinism and free will. I think it's both, because of course we could always shift it through our choices, right? And then that's when we go into what alternative universes and alternative timelines.
Yeah.
So Sam, what do you think about alternative universes and different infinite number of parallel Earths and timelines?
Yeah. Once I have channeled about it many times, and one of the things that the Pleiadians said in one of the sessions is that this current reality which we can feel right now is actually in the past. So what they were trying to say is that whatever is happening to you, you feel as real right now, is actually in the past. So the real the now is actually happening within you. So whenever you are reacting to someone emotionally, or whenever you are being grateful, like you said, or whenever you are choosing a better state of consciousness, that is actually the present, the now, which will then produce the second now, which is this reality which you will feel. It will happen tomorrow, or maybe after a few days. And they said that there are infinite timelines, infinite universes, and it is all based upon your vibration, and based upon how much service to others you do. Because I feel that many people they don't really know that by helping others, the universe will help you. I mean, I have experienced it myself, and many people may have felt the same. Because when you help someone, it may not happen today, but when you need help, the universe will open up this new door, a new channel. You'll receive help from above, from the universe, from the creator. And these are two things which I think are very important. Like you said, vibrational alignment, which direction you want to enter into, which timeline you want to enter into, it is your choice. And then you have also this service to others or service to self pathway. Okay, some people choose the service to self. Unfortunately, they never help anyone. They just want to take. They just want to be the receiver. They just want to only do good things for themselves. They never think about the other person. And one day what happens, everything goes crashing down, because it's the law of the universe. It doesn't sustain that much. And then there is the service to others pathway, which helps not only the self but also the others. And then somehow by choosing the service to other pathway, I have noticed that it's more better in my own experience. And these are the two combinations which allow us to enter into timelines, from my own experience, from my channeling. And yeah.
What do you say about that, Taylor?
I believe it absolutely, but I also think there's something about our mind in the world that we're in that makes it really hard to comprehend. The multiverse itself, understanding how that works, the infinite possibilities, infinite realities, I feel it deep down inside of me, because I do feel when my path is wrong, when the trajectory is off, and I feel like something has been almost like altered somehow. But man, it is so complex, it's so heavy, that I just grapple with it. You know what I mean? Like, I really do grapple with this concept. I totally believe that there are like these infinite possibilities happening all at once, but it's hard to know how to master that, so to say. You know what I mean?
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's just so sad that the majority of humans are still holding on to the concept of one universe, or even to the extent of one planet and no other realities, no other dimensions, no other realms.
Right.
Unfortunately, the majority of humanity still, they can't get past that. They can't get beyond that one realm, one earth, one civilization, or one universe. It's almost like there's a good portion of people who are buying into that flat earth nonsense. It's almost like they want to take us back to the dark ages. Sam, I want to get your take on the flat earth theory. What do you think about it?
I have channeled about the flat earth thing, based on what I have received. Now it's actually, what they said is very logical. Okay, like if you just consider yourself as a second dimension entity, like a 2D being, right? A 2D being cannot see height, so it's only flat, right? It's on a piece of paper. So for that being, earth will be flat. Okay, so for us, we are in the third dimension, there is height, right? So for us, the earth will be like a globe kind of thing. So that's what they said. And from the fourth density, from the fourth dimension, which is time, what they've said is earth will look like this. This is 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27. There are different timelines. You can choose which one you want to experience. So you are in control of time as well. So like you said, there will be infinite versions of timelines, and earth in that density, in the fourth density, when you reach that level, when you master it. And one of the things, like you said, I believe we are limited by one thing, and that is, we can only focus on one thing at a time. Many people, they don't know that if you focus on your thumb of your left hand, if you just keep on focusing on this, you cannot focus on the right hand thumb at the same time. It's impossible. So we are actually limited with our consciousness. Our consciousness, is just a single point consciousness. Okay, that's what they have said in the session. We are only able to, we only have the capacity right now to handle this much power. So when we have this multi-consciousness level, which we will receive when we enter higher dimensions, as per my channelings, then you will be able to sense different realities. Then you will not only be here, but you will be sensing, all other realities. Maybe you are in the year 2030, maybe you are in some other timeline, and that is also, where our higher self, which they have said is in the sixth density, in that level, it is able to have that, ability to handle all of these things. So we are just learning in this reality, from my understanding, to learn to handle this, and then when you learn to handle this, you will have other opportunities to maybe handle more consciousness, attention, power.
That's very well said. Yeah, that's so true. We're only, they say that based on recent studies, that our consciousness and our perception is only tuned into like one fraction of the full reality potential. And that's why they're trying to say that 96 or 97 or 98% of our reality is missing, And I never believed that. I always believe that there is life all around us in the same space. It's just that we're only tuned into one fraction of the entire light energy spectrum. When in essence, it's like we're teaming up with life all around us. I've always believed extraterrestrial civilizations, regardless of their level of spiritual and technological attainment, are processing and transmitting themselves and existing right through us. They go right through us. And the only reason we don't physically interact with them is because they exist in a different dimension. And that's why, we go right through them. But, it's the same concept of the radio waves, right? And the television waves and the Wi-Fi. We go right through it. But the moment we go on our device, we interface with it, right? It's like we collapse the wave function and it becomes a solid. And that's just the way reality is, It's just an infinite number of wave functions. And based on where we're attuning our perception and attention, that's when we collapse, the wave function into a particular solid. But in essence, it's all just an ocean of energy. There is no solids.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. That's the irony of our existence.
It's why spirituality is so much like an antenna that's receiving a type of transmission, like you're saying, because we exist in this kind of multidimensional astral realm where that diversity of life, light, and energy is all around us, permeating us. But we need some kind of technique and some kind of system, channeling essentially, or some type of ritual magic or something like that to tap into that astral realm to see what's already there. But most people don't have that antenna to tap into that frequency or that transmission.
Well, I think that antenna has a lot to do with the activation of the third eye, the pineal gland. I think as the pineal gland comes back online in its full function, I think that's what's going to allow us to have access to more reality, to more, it'll give us the ability to collapse more wave functions, that exist beyond the 1% of the spectrum.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
Yeah. Brother, just to add to that, I think, what he said is very true because, based on the chakra system, right? We have the chakras. So to activate the pineal gland, we first need to master our lower three centers. We need to balance them, then open our heart center, and then, balance our throat energy center. And then, finally, we will reach here, right? So, I think, what you said is very true because when you are able to finally, balance and activate this chakra, you will have all of these in alignment. And just imagine that, like when you are at that state of consciousness, the amount of power you have, like not only to shift reality, but, like to collapse whatever you want to create in the world, it will happen. And I believe, there have been many mystical teachers, such as one of them was Neville Goddard, who talked about, like the power of imagination. I think you may have heard about him.
Yes.
He was talking about, the imagination which you actually sense from your third eye. It's actually a third eye which is able to perceive and imagine. So that is one of the functions which helps us to create reality. And I believe, it makes a lot of sense that what you said is very true, that we are able to collapse, the reality based on quantum mechanics. I think you are saying that the wave, when consciousness is put onto it, becomes a particle, right? So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Do we have any questions from the viewers, Taylor?
No, we're not live. We're gonna release this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, different style because of the YouTube changes where they bury your live podcast. So now we have to pre-record them and release them so people can actually have access to them.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, Sam,
Nice.
If you said this, it was so fast that I want you to go back to it. So going from a street magician, I know you talked about them becoming a hypno therapist or somebody who could hypnotize people, but how did you know that you could channel like that? Like what? That's a big step. So what happened to you? Was there a certain event or like anything that triggered that?
No, what happened was that the first time my mother said that I was talking while I was sleeping. So she sent me there to the doctor, and the doctor, like gave me a prescription of psychosis. So psychosis is like,
right.
Yeah, the mental condition of where you talk. So he had given me, prescription, to take this drug and to do this and all this kind of stuff, to go into that rehab stuff. So I was like, I told my mom, like just record that, because my mom, doesn't speak English. She only understands local language. So she was not able to understand what they were saying the first time. So the second time, she actually recorded what they were saying. So I had set up the camera, and when I went into that state, I then, looked at the message, and I found out that, it was a message. Like, it was a message from these beings. They were addressing one of my problems which I had. So I discovered that, there must be something going on here. So I searched everywhere on the internet. I found out, there were many people, they were doing channeling, and I discovered that, this was channeling, not, me going crazy. So yeah, that's how it actually happened. Yeah.
Wow.
And then with that, Sam, like, when did you discover that you were a wanderer or a starseed, incarnated in human form? At what age did you discover that?
Yeah, I had basically, I had no idea, who I was. I am actually right now 29. So up until my age of 27 years, I had no idea, because I was blinded by the third density reality. I was chasing, like what normal people chase, fame, all that kind of stuff, going out there, partying, chasing the pleasures of life, as they call it. I had no idea that I was a starseed. I was not interested in spirituality at all, because I did not know, at that point, if you showed my own videos, I would not believe them, because, I was brainwashed to such a level. Looking back at my own life, I was brainwashed by society, I was brainwashed by the narrative, that they had been giving us since I was a young kid. But then this event happened, and I was like, forced to, channel. Not forced to channel, but it came through. I decided to use this aspect as sharing the message to others, and then I asked about my past lives. I asked about your past life, and then I think I discovered that later on. Like 3 or 4 months later, when I asked about my past life. So that's when I actually discovered that something else is going on here.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So you do consider yourself a starseed, right, or wanderer?
Yeah. They have said that I have been in the fourth density before. So my soul has chosen to come here to do this service to others, kind of thing.
Makes perfect sense. Were you able to find out exactly where your point of origin began? Like, I originated in Lyra. Where would you say you originated?
Yeah, I was in the Pleiadian star system, back in the beginning stages, and I mean, this is only one timeline, so they're only seeing one timeline. So there are like infinite timelines, but that's just one trajectory for us to understand. If they were to say like every single thing, we will not understand, right? So yeah, in the Pleiadian star system, that's what they said.
So you technically you are a Pleiadian starseed.
Exactly. Yeah. I am a Pleiadian starseed. Yeah.
What's your what's your sun sign?
Sun sign means like Taurus, that kind of thing.
Taurus. Yeah. Are you a Taurus?
Yeah, I'm Taurus. Yeah, I am a Taurus. Yeah.
So the Pleiades are at 29 degrees Taurus.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah. So we use
so
that.
It makes
yeah, it makes sense. I wonder. I'd like to see what degree your sun is at.
Oh yeah. I have no idea how that degree.
Our friend Taylor here is a astrology expert. Based on your
nice.
Yeah, and he teaches. Wow. Yeah, in our online school, he teaches astrology as well as tarot and elemental magic, among other things.
Wow, awesome, brother. That's amazing. Yeah, astrology, is one of those things that I mean, it's fascinating. Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, do you actually?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I might. I want to add one thing, about astrology. This is the funniest thing. Okay, like my mother, ever since I was like a young kid, she used to tell me, I remember, that an astrologer had told her when she was young, by looking at her hand, that she will give birth to a child, and that child's voice will be heard by the people all over the world. So my mother thought, I was going to be a singer, right? So, she used to tell me like, maybe I'll be a singer. But then right now, it makes sense that people are listening to my voice. They are listening from all over the world to the channeling voice. And, astrology, I think, is like very like, I mean, I don't know how it happened. Like, this is a crazy, you know what I mean? This is one of the craziest things that, I mean, the person, was able to, tell her this will happen like, 30, 40 years before I was even born. So I don't know, man. This is crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, you
Yeah.
found your voice in an entirely different way.
Yeah, exactly, brother. I never knew what channeling was. Like unexpected thing. No idea what it was.
Do you take private clients? Should we can wrap it up and have you give us all your information for people to book you?
Yeah. Like basically, I have an email, samtheillusionist1@gmail.com, which you can find in all of my videos as well. And you can send me an email, and if I have a free slot for channeling, I help people with their questions, with whatever they want to know, like their past life. Sometimes they may be going through some kind of situation, and they want to find a way through. I can channel their higher self and seek guidance. That's basically what I do. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm gonna tag that in the link below because I want to book a private session with you. So
Yeah. No, yeah, brother. We could do an exchange. Like I'll do it for you, and then you could do my natal chart kind of stuff. I think that would be great, right?
Oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah, we will definitely talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sam. And for Ishmael and I, for Starseed Cosmology, Astrology, Tarot, Magic, all that, just go to themysticarts.org and book our courses. And Ishmael, do you want to close us out?
Yeah, I just want to thank Sam for joining us today as our guest. As a Wanderer, Starseed Light Warrior himself, Sam, it's a pleasure being here, Sam. And again, thank you for that channeling session you did regarding some of my past lives last week. I thought that was really awesome of you. And we hope to have you back here again, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, Ismail. Thank you so much for inviting me. And
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không còn mới em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu bye bye. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ. Chỉ cần bên em không được còn nhớ. Và chỉ có em không còn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ còn với em ở đây. Và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mơ mày. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu. Không em như mà mơ mộng. Anh như nước mong cầu. Và mưa bên em hút sâu. Chào các bạn bye em mơ. Chỉ có bên em nhưng là khó mơ. Em vẫn đang dài. Em muốn bên ai. Anh không mong gì hơn. Chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau. Mà đừng em đâu anh có em. Một đêm bên anh có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu. Ôm anh.
got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck, can't stop, unplug, feeling over